Hello, my loves. Right, I've got my friend Jodie in for some nails. Jodie had the builder in a bottle nails ages ago, and she got really stressed recently and pulled them off. And she couldn't get in to see me. So finally she's in to see me, but she has no nails. So we're going right back to basics and starting from scratch. She said they held up pretty well, which is good. So all I'm doing here is using my Ethel cuticle tool just to remove the cuticle build up on the nail plate and also nudge those cuticles back to expose a little bit more nail plate and make sure we've got nothing clinging to the nail bed that could potentially cause lifting. That's the plan. Sorry if the camera wobbles, but the puppy came to visit, so they were running in and out of the legs of the camera stand. Oh my goodness. So there's a little bit of residue on the nail there from the previous set, but there wasn't really much damage, which is good. So if she'd have ripped off acrylic, she probably would have had half her nail missing. So I'm probably glad that I did the nails that didn't hold as well. And then we're going to go in with my e-file and this little cuticle bit, which is from Nail Dot Supplies. I'm going to go on a very low setting. It's on 5 on my Femme Fatale Nails e-file. And I go in one direction and then change it and go in the other direction so that I'm prepping each side of the nail equally, if that makes sense. If you go just one direction, there is a chance that you won't give one side of the nail as equal attention as the other. So there's a really short stumpies. Oh, and you've got a bonus shot of me doing some prep work on the other hand. I did record a lot of the things on both hands, so I've just kind of tried to pick the best views for you. So if it switches, oh dear, I do apologise. It's just that I'm trying to get the best views possible for you. I've sped this up as well, this little bit here, because you've just seen me prep. I do love Ethel. I know I'm going to be getting a Doris, which is a new cuticle tool. At the moment, I'm still in love with Ethel, because just clearing all of that junk from the nail plate is so helpful. So helpful with lifting. I'll leave the links and stuff to the tools in the description box, and anything that I have the links for that I remember, I always pop it in the description box along with any discount codes that I have. Right, so I've gone in and applied the Glitter Planet pre-pinch stiletto tips. These are the old pre-pinch stiletto. I've been told they've been changed. I haven't tried the new ones. I've still got the old ones and I love them, so I'm really sad. I didn't want them to change. So I've applied the tips and I've etched the nail plate and I'm just blending that line a little bit and also just filing in the wings. Because although they are well less, they still have a little bit of a step up. So I like to kind of try and blend it in. I've sped it up now on the rest of the nails. Just showed you one in real time. Have you seen my Instagram? Have you seen that glow, UV glow spider gel? Holy moly. I will do a design with it for you on here. I was asked by Glitterarty to test out a brand new product and then provide some images for them, and oh my lord, when I got that under the UV lamp, whoo, it was like lightning. So beautiful. So really good for like party seasons and nights out and festivals, because it's still really bright in daylight as well. So going through all the nails, blending that line, just tidying it all up. Some people don't do this first. I like to do it. I like to have my shape down first. Other people don't. It's really down to personal preference. Ultimately, whether you're filing your shape in at the beginning or at the end, you are still filing your shape in. And even if you file your shape in at the beginning and then just quickly perfect it at the end, I doubt you're saving much time by doing it at the end because you'll have more to file. So I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, as my mum would say. So giving them a really good wipe over now with prep spray. Really getting there. Give it a good scrub a dab dab. And then I'll go in with the Diamond Nail Supplies Acid Primer. I didn't like this cushion. I thought I'd try this nail cushion, but I wasn't comfortable using it. So I think I'll go back to leaning on the Valentino. So I'm just laying down now a clear base because we're going to go in with some coloured design work. So this is Clarity from Diamond Nail Supplies. And I'm just placing the bead on, quickly tucking it in and feathering it down the nail. Place it on, tuck it in, feather it down. Very thin layer, just enough to file back to and to protect the nail from the colours. I have sped this part up because it's a bit repetitive. Again, placing it on, tucking it in, feather it down. Easy peasy. Make it nice and smooth so you've got a lovely base. So then I'm going in with Coral Bay. This is one of the new colours from Diamond Nail Supplies. Oh, this is stunning. Real summer belter. I love it. Placing the bead on, tucking it in and just taking it down the nail. Easy. Great coverage. Smooth to work with. Zero marbling. No grittiness. I'm happy. Happy bunny. And then I'm just going in with a little bit more there. I put too much on actually. Never mind. Never mind. I was like, oh, I've got too much product. What am I doing with it all? Beautiful. Now I'm going in with my custom mix, which is a mix of Diamond Nail Supplies Stripped and Bare with some Glitterarty pigment in, shimmer pigment. I think it's the Fairy Chrome in Silver. It's just like a shimmery pink cover. It's lush, and I'm just going to build a smile line. So I've placed the bead down, I've feathered that edge back towards the cuticle, and now I'm working with my brush quite dry because I don't need to feed that bead. I don't need it to move around too much. I need it to start setting so that I can nudge it into place. And the more you do here, the less you've got to mess about with your file. So take your time. I used to rush smile lines and then be like, oh no, it's a mess. So I'm placing that second bead down, release it, tuck it in, and then feather it into the first bead. Gently as well, you don't need to go kind of crazy, just nice and gentle. And then I'm going to add another bead just to build that up. There we are. Lovely. And then I'm going to let that set and move on to the next nail. This is a stunning iridescent coral coloured glitter from the Glitterarty. It was the iridescent mix box that I got, which is like 12, I think it's 12 sections, each with a portion of this iridescent glitter, and it's so beautiful. So it's got that coral and then this gold, and it's a multi-cut, so it's perfect. It's really, really pretty. So when you're working with glitter, you really just want to pick up a tiny wee bead of clear, dip it in the glitter, place it on the nail, and then nudge it into place, and just keep adding. And then keep flattening it down like you see there so that you don't end up with a lumpy bumpy nail. It's really, really easy. If you've got a nice glitter with good coverage, you won't have any trouble. This is going to be an ombre nail, so I'm applying Coral Bay at the tip there. And then blending it back. See how smooth that is? Oh, mate, it's delicious. Smoothing that through the nail. These are very, very pinched, so you want to pay close attention to the sides there. When I first started using these tips, I remember I always used to miss bits at the side because they're incredibly pinched. Now once I'm happy with that, I'll leave it to set up. Onto the thumb, and this is Stardust. This is an acrylic that's silver with tiny weeny holographic pieces in, like super, super fine. So I'm just placing the bead on, tucking it up, and then feathering it down. And it's so nice to work with. I wish the camera picked up the holographic, but it's just so fine that it won't pick it up. But the naked eye, oh, it's stunning. And then I'm going to add a little bit more. I'll just place the bead on towards the tip, work it round, and then feather it back into the first bead. Such a beautiful, smooth system. I love it. I just saw a little bit there, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. And we're on to the ombre now. So I'm going to go in with my custom blend. Place a wet bead at the join and feather that right down. And then place the cuticle bead on. Tuck it in. Feather that into the first bead. I'm not worried about the blend because I'm going to put glitter across it, so I wasn't super picky about how I did it. I'm then going to pick up a tiny bead of clear and just grab some of that coral iridescent glitter and work that in an S shape. It's just to tie in the glitter with the other bits and bobs. Keep it nice and flat. You don't need a lot because it's really, really sparkly. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to cap them all before I file in that smile line so we don't get any dust in the design. I'm using Clarity from Diamond Nail Supplies. When I'm dealing with the really pinched tips, I often do a bead at the very tip and blend it back as well. I just find it covers everything a lot easier. But it's personal preference. As long as your apex is in place and everything's covered, you're fine. So just placing the bead on, tucking it in, feathering it down. I'm not applying much pressure. These brushes are very soft. And I've got a good sized bead there at the tip. And it just enables me to make sure I cover all of that C curve all the way around because it is very, very tight. Same here, place the bead on, tuck it in, feather it down. And then just make sure all that glitter changes matte, then you know that it's covered. And it's nice and smooth, it'll be a lot easier to file. So I'm walking that bead down and then just blending it in. I don't know what was on my brush there. I've only just noticed it. They look really weird. I've had a few odd hairs sticking out, so maybe I just need to trim them, but it's quite a new brush. So I do not know. I'll have to do a little bit of brush maintenance. I'm going to add another bead at the cuticle area, or more of the apex area, just give it a little bit more. It doesn't need an awful lot, they're not particularly long, and they're nice and, they've got a nice strong C curve, so they're very strong anyway. I'm going to file in that smile line. So using that file right up against that wall that you've built, just to crisp it up. And if you've built it nice and even, and it's the shape already that you want, you shouldn't need much filing. And it's the same with colour blocking, same principle. If anything, colour blocking is easier than smile lines. That's how I find it anyway. But if you can do one, you can do the other for sure. So I'm going in with a bead of Coral Bay, placing it at the tip, and then just blending it back over that smile line. I don't care if it goes over, because I'm just going to file it in. You can build strength with this, so it's perfectly fine, no need to cap, it's all good. And obviously, once I've made a big mess and assured Jodie that it's going to look alright, I then wait for it to set up and file it in, which I will show you. I'll show you filing in the smile line, and I've missed out a lot of the filing because it's so long otherwise. So this is before filing. Right, so here we are filing in that lovely smile line. I'm using my medium bit from Nail Dot Supplies, I think. I think it's Nail Dot, or it might be Glitter Planet, I'm not sure. I can't honestly remember, I've had it a while, but it's really good for things like this. Takes off just enough. I do like watching a colour block or a smile line come through, it's really nice. And that Coral Bay is such a rich, rich colour. I love it. So I've filed everything into shape and I'm just buffing with my Kirsty Meakin buffer, which I love. So I thought I'd show you one now, just having a quick buff, as you do. And then I'm going in with Diamond Nail Supplies Tack Free Top Shine. I did it nice and slow. Wow, 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 wow. I thought I'd zoom in a bit on the glitter, but for some reason I think the towel underneath kind of took away the quality of the image. I was really frustrated, but it's so nice. Such a nice set, I really love these. And I really wish you could have seen this hollow with the naked eye because it's so gorgeous. That's it, that's a finished set. I'll apply cuticle oil and that's that. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you in my next video. Tally bye!